This first chapter introduces a big change in the world of used clothes. You might think of a dusty old store when you hear about secondhand items, but today it is very different. Now there are large, modern centers that handle used clothing. Think of ThredUp's big warehouse in Georgia. Every single day, 40,000 pieces of used clothing move through it. This is not a small shop. It is a huge operation, like a factory, but for clothes that people have already worn. It uses advanced machines and smart computer programs, known as artificial intelligence or AI. This system can even be compared to the big places where new clothes from brands like Zara are sent out. ThredUp has built 4 of these large centers across the United States. They are in Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Texas, along with Georgia. These centers are ready to take millions of bags of pre-loved clothes from people's homes. They then sort each item, take professional photos, give it a price, and send it to a new buyer. This process is called reverse logistics, which means clothes are coming back into the system, not just going out. Inside these centers, AI plays a very important role. Smart cameras take pictures of clothes very quickly. AI then looks at these pictures to know the brand, the type of fabric, and how good the condition is. It can even guess the best price for each item. This new technology helps ThredUp process many more items in less time. It also saves money on workers needed for small tasks. This makes the business very efficient and able to make good profits. The market for second-hand clothing is growing incredibly fast. In 2024, this global market was worth $177 billion. Experts predict it will more than double to $367 billion by 2029. This means the used clothing market is growing almost 3 times faster than the market for brand new clothes. This big shift is not just about helping the environment. It is also about new money and new technology. The old-fashioned business model was simple: make new clothes, sell them, and then people would throw them away. But now, companies like ThredUp have found a way to make money from clothes people do not want anymore. This system, which starts with clothing that might have been wasted, is becoming one of the most profitable parts of the fashion industry. It shows how old items are now at the center of a new business revolution. 2. Big machines. The journey for old clothes to find a new home starts with a clean-out kit. People get a special bag or label from ThredUp. They fill it with clothes they do not want anymore. Then they send the bag to a ThredUp warehouse. It is a very easy process for the seller. When a kit arrives at a warehouse, it goes to a place called an upcycle center. Here, people, not machines, look at each item carefully. They check if the clothes are clean enough and in good condition to sell. They also check if the brand is popular. This first step is very important. Only a small number of clothes sent in actually pass this check. Scott Kuhlman, a company CEO, said that only a low single-digit percentage of clothes are good enough to be sold again. Most clothes do not make the cut. For items that are not chosen, ThredUp offers choices. They can send the clothes back to the person for a fee, give them to charity, or recycle them. Many clothes are taken out of the system before they ever reach a new buyer. This shows how strict the rules are for what gets sold. If an item is accepted, it moves to the next step, taking pictures. Workers place the clothes on turning stands in front of special cameras. These cameras take many pictures quickly. These are not just normal photos. The pictures go into a smart computer system called AI. This AI system looks at the clothes closely. It can tell the brand, what fabric it is, and its condition. It can even guess the best selling price based on millions of past sales. This smart photo system makes things much faster. Before, many people had to type in details for each item. Now the AI does most of this work. A worker just scans a code and puts the item on the stand. The machine does the rest. This saves a lot of time and makes fewer mistakes. Then the clothes go into a very large system. Justin Pina, who works at ThreadUp, calls it the largest garment-on-hanger system in the world. In this system, clothes stay on hangers, not folded in boxes. This helps a lot. The clothes do not need to be folded again when they are sent out. They also arrive at buyers' homes in better shape. This hanging system works with smart moving belts and robots. These machines can find and take specific clothes from the millions stored there without needing a person to touch them. This whole system helps process clothes very fast. This process ensures that only certain clothes become part of the inventory. It shows how technology and human checks decide the future of our old garments. 3. High prices. The second-hand clothing market is growing fast. Many things cause this. One big reason is money. Clothes are becoming more expensive. This forces people to look for cheaper options. Almost all clothes sold in the United States come from other countries. About 97% of them are imported. Most come from places like China, Vietnam, and India. For many years, this meant new clothes were cheap. This helped companies sell a lot of fast fashion. But this changed in early 2025. President Donald Trump started a new policy. It was called reciprocal tariffs. These are special taxes on goods that come from other countries. The taxes made imported clothes much more expensive. Before, in January 2025, the average tax on imported clothes was about 14%. By May 2025, it rose to almost 24%. In July, it was more than 26%. For clothes from China, the tax was even higher. It went from 22% to almost 70% in just a few months. Some items even face taxes over 145%. These higher taxes made clothing companies pay more money. They then passed these costs to customers, so new clothes became more expensive in stores. Between January and July 2025, clothing prices went up by 1.3%. Many company leaders believe prices will rise even more in 2026. Big brands like Nike and Ralph Lauren announced higher prices for their items. For families, these changes mean less money in their pockets. Experts at Yale University say that an average American family might lose about $3,800 each year. This is because of higher prices on many goods, including clothes. Most people are worried about their money. They want to find good value when they buy things. This situation has made second-hand clothes very popular. People need to save money. A report by ThreadUp in 2025 shows that 59% of shoppers would buy used clothes if new ones cost more. Among young adults, this number is even higher, at 69%. Companies like ThreadUp are seeing many new customers. Their sales are also growing fast. The head of a company called Scalable, Jasmine Enberg, said that tariffs make second-hand shopping a smart buy. Clothing companies tried to move production to other countries to avoid the tariffs, but the new policies also put taxes on clothes from those countries, so many brands found it hard to escape the higher costs. This means the tariffs, which were meant to help factories in the United States, are actually helping second-hand shops. People are very sensitive to how much clothes cost. If a new dress costs $130, but a used one is $40, many people will choose the used one. Companies like ThreadUp benefit from this. Their business works only inside the United States. They do not import clothes. They get clothes from American closets. This means they do not pay tariffs. When new clothes become too costly, buying secondhand is not just a choice, it is a way to save money. 4. No more shame. For many years, buying used clothes felt wrong. People thought only those with no money bought secondhand. There was often a feeling of shame, like you could not buy new things. These clothes were found in dusty shops, and they often smelled old. It was not a choice many people made if they could avoid it. But around 2015, something big started to change. People began to think differently about used clothing. It moved from being something to hide to something to show off. Now, buying secondhand gives you a good feeling, like you are smart with your money. More and more, people who can buy new clothes choose used ones instead. In 2024, about 1/3 of shoppers bought used items directly from clothing brands. For younger people, this number was almost half. They were not forced to buy secondhand. They wanted to. This new way of thinking shows up on social media. Young people often make videos called thrift hauls. They show off the cool clothes they found at low prices. This makes buying used clothes seem clever and trendy. It is a way to get attention and show how smart you are. Many things helped this change. Online shops made buying used clothes easy. You could shop from home, see clear pictures, and find what you wanted, just like with new clothes. The old smells and messy stores were gone. Also, the quality of used clothes got better. Companies selling used items now pick only good clothes from well-known brands. Some people even take better care of their clothes so they can sell them later. Big clothing brands also started to join in. Companies like Lululemon and Patagonia began their own programs for used clothes. They told customers, "Your old clothes have value. Do not throw them away." This made buying used clothes seem even more normal and accepted. The economic reason for buying used clothes also became clear. With new clothes getting more expensive, many people asked, "Why pay full price when I can get a good used item for less?" It was not about being poor. It was about being smart with money. Consumers now plan to spend more than 1/3 of their clothing budget on used items. For younger generations, this is almost half. This means people now see clothes differently. They are not just something to wear. They are like temporary assets. Many young people think about if a piece of clothing will have good resale value before they even buy it new. They buy clothes knowing they might sell them later. This way of thinking is common for younger groups who are used to sharing things like cars or homes, not always owning them. The shame of used clothes has gone away, replaced by the pride of smart shopping. 5. Smart tools. The second-hand clothing market used to have a big problem. It was hard to find exactly what you wanted. Imagine looking for one special jacket in a very big pile of clothes. This was like finding a small needle in a large stack of hay. Because it was so hard, many people did not shop for used items. The market stayed small for a long time. Now, smart computer programs called artificial intelligence or AI are helping. AI is changing how people find used clothes. One clear example is an app called Fia. Two students, Phoebe Gates and Sophia Kiani, created it. They loved fashion but found it tiring to search for good deals on many resale websites. So they built Fia to do the work. This app can look through 250 million used clothing listings on 40,000 different shopping sites very fast. If you see a bag you like online, you can use Fia. It tells you if the price is high, normal, or low. It also shows you cheaper options, clothes. The app learns your favorite styles and sizes. It then suggests items just for you. Sophia Kiani explained that many great used options exist, but are spread across too many websites. Fia solves this by giving quick price help. This app started in April 2025. It quickly received $8 million from investors like Kris Jenner and Hailey Bieber. Other companies, like ThredUp, also use AI. ThreadUp has a style chat feature. You can type questions like, "I need a dress for a fall wedding in New York," and get ideas. You can also upload a picture of a piece of clothing. ThreadUp's AI system will then find similar items. The AI understands style. It can suggest clothes that match your taste, even if they are from different brands. Many shoppers now feel that AI makes buying used clothes as easy as buying new ones. This is very important. For years, shopping secondhand was difficult. AI has removed that problem. Now, finding the perfect used item is much easier. Instead of searching, you can scroll through a list of items that the AI thinks you will like. This way of shopping is more engaging. It helps the market for used clothes grow. Many traditional stores are also using AI. About 78% of stores have invested in AI. More than half plan to start new AI tools soon. These tools include smart pricing systems that change prices based on demand. There are also tools that let you virtually try on clothes, and chatbots that offer fashion advice. AI helps people find what they want without much effort. When it's easy to find secondhand items at good prices, more people will buy them. This, combined with new taxes making new clothes more expensive, is changing the fashion market greatly. Chapter 6. Young Buyers. Chapter 6 looks at young buyers, mainly Gen Z and Millennials. These groups born from the early 1980s to the early 2010s are changing the clothing market greatly. They plan to spend almost half of their clothing money on used items in the next year. This is a big change compared to older generations. One reason for this is their concern for the environment. Young people know that buying used items helps reduce pollution and waste from making new clothes. Secondhand shopping can greatly lower carbon emissions. But money problems are also a very important reason. Many young people face high costs for education and homes, and their wages do not grow fast enough. Price increases on new clothing make used items a better choice for their wallets. New customers are coming to second-hand platforms because of this financial pressure. This generation also thinks differently when they buy clothes. They often ask, "What can I sell this for later?" They see clothes as something they will own for a short time. They want to get the best value from their money. This is especially true for expensive brands. A luxury bag might be too costly new, but cheaper used. Then they can sell it again later, reducing the total money they spent for temporary ownership. This idea feels natural to them, just like using shared services for transport or homes. Social media also plays a big role. Many young buyers share what they find in thrift hauls online. This makes secondhand shopping seem cool and smart. It is not just about buying clothes. It is about showing off their style and being part of a community. Brands and types of clothes are often mixed together, like a used jacket with new sneakers, which shows their unique style. However, there is a challenge called the wearability paradox. Even though young people care about the environment, they might buy many used items and not wear each one for a long time. If clothes are bought cheaply and worn only a few times before being passed on again, it does not help the environment as much as truly extending an item's life. The true benefit comes from wearing clothes a lot, whether they are new or used. So, while buying used is good, buying too much, even secondhand, can still lead to a lot of clothes being consumed and discarded quickly. This fast cycle of buying and letting go of clothes can make the environmental benefits smaller. The green problem. Many people think that buying used clothes is always good for the planet. They believe it helps the environment a lot. It is true that buying a second-hand item instead of a new one can save energy, water, and reduce carbon pollution. Companies often share these numbers. For example, they might say that if every person bought just one used item instead of a new one,
it would save billions of gallons of water and tons of CO2. These numbers sound impressive and give a good feeling. However, the real picture is more complex. One important idea is the replacement rate. This means how often a second-hand purchase truly stops someone from buying a new item. Studies show that this rate is not very high, maybe only half of the time. This means that for every 2 used items bought, only 1 truly replaces a new item. The other used item is an extra purchase. People buy these extra items because they are cheap, easy to find, or just because they like to shop. This shows that consumers are not always reducing their total clothing purchases. They are often just adding used items to their closets. Research has shown a surprising truth. People who buy a lot of secondhand clothing also tend to buy a lot of new clothing.
Experts call this the wearability paradox. It means that buying used items often does not stop people from buying new ones. Instead, these two shopping habits can happen together. This makes the environmental benefits of secondhand shopping less clear than many people hope. Some experts worry that this trend involves greenwashing. This happens when companies make something seem more environmentally friendly than it really is. Resale platforms can make people feel good and less guilty about buying clothes. They might think, it's secondhand, so it's good for the planet, and it's okay to buy more. This feeling of being green can actually encourage people to buy more clothes overall, rather than less. It gives them a reason to add items to their wardrobe without thinking deeply about the total impact. The most important way to help the environment is to buy fewer clothes in total and wear each item for a much longer time. It does not matter if the clothes are new or used. If someone buys a used shirt but only wears it a few times before getting rid of it, the environmental benefit is small. The real goal is to make sure clothes are used many, many times over years, keeping them out of landfills. Also, sending clothes from sellers to warehouses and then to buyers involves many steps. This logistics process uses fuel for transport and energy for sorting and packaging. These activities also create carbon emissions. So, while buying secondhand can be part of a greener lifestyle, it is not a complete solution by itself. For it to truly help, it must lead to less overall buying and much longer use of every garment. The future. The future of secondhand clothing looks very big. Experts say the global market will be worth $367 billion by 2029. In the United States, it will reach $74 billion. Buying clothes online will almost double to $40 billion. This shows a big change in how people shop and what they choose to buy. There are 2 main ideas about this future. The first is hopeful. It sees a circular economy. This means things are used again and again, not thrown away. High taxes on new clothes and rising prices might make people buy fewer new items. Smart computer programs, called AI, make it very easy to find used clothes. Brands will start to make clothes that last longer and can be resold many times. People will choose used clothes instead of new ones, wear them more, and keep them longer. This could mean less waste and a cleaner planet. But there is also a less hopeful idea. This view says that buying secondhand might just make people buy more clothes in total. Secondhand items are often cheap and easy to find, especially with AI tools. So people might buy new clothes and used clothes instead of buying only used. This means total shopping goes up. Companies might use secondhand sales to look green without truly making fewer new clothes. This is sometimes called greenwashing. If people buy more and wear items for a shorter time, even used ones, it does not help the environment much. It just moves clothes around faster. This is the wearability paradox. AI technology is a big part of this future. It can make selling used clothes very fast and cheap. For example, computers can price clothes correctly. But AI can also make you want to buy more things. It can show you many items you might like, even if you do not need them. This can lead to more shopping, not less. Clothing brands also have a role. They can start their own programs to sell used clothes. This can help them get more money from items they already sold once. But it is hard for them to sell both new and used items without one hurting the other. They need to find a good balance. Governments can also help. Some places already have rules to make companies reuse or recycle clothes. High tariffs or taxes on imported new clothes also make secondhand clothes more attractive. These economic pressures push people to buy used items, which helps the market grow. In the end, it is also up to us, the shoppers. Buying secondhand is good if it means we buy less new stuff and wear clothes for a long time. It is not so good if it just makes us buy more clothes overall. We need to think about why we are buying something and how long we will use it. So, will this big change save our planet? Or will it just help us throw away clothes more efficiently? That is the big question for the future. What do you think will happen? Will we buy less and care more, or just keep buying more in a new way?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.